I'm going to be sharing with you in this video 3 things that I did to manifest what I call my dream life. Now I say dream life in that way because I think that living a life of abundance, living a life that truly feels aligned in our heart, a life that feels good, is something that we can experience, and it's not something that has to be out of the norm. It can be totally normal to live a life that you truly want to live. So with that being said, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 things that I did to manifest what I call my dream life, but how it can be completely normal and how you can actually manifest the exact same thing for yourself. So if you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because I do post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. So 3 things that I did to manifest my dream life, or at least what I call my dream life, and how you can do the same thing. So the first thing that I did to manifest what we call my dream life, so to speak, is, this is going to sound simple, but this is super important, is to know what I wanted. If you want to manifest something, it has to be clear that you know what you want. If you want money, why do you actually want the money? So this sounds simple, but to know what you want is super important. If you don't know what you want, at least know, at least set the intention that you want to find out what you want. So it's like, Francis, I don't know what my dream career is. So tell yourself, because some people don't realize that if you don't know what you want, knowing that you want to find out what you want is already knowing what you want. So knowing that you want to find out with a strong intention, that you want to find out what you want to manifest truly in your life, is already knowing what you want. So that's good. Knowing that you want to find clarity is, in my opinion, that applies to knowing what you want. Now, assuming that you got that out of the way and you do know exactly what you want to manifest, but once again, if that's the case where you don't know and you have to follow that first step, there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, that should make you feel good, because now it's like, okay, at least I have some sense of direction. I don't know what I want, but I know that I want to find out what I want, and that is considered knowing what I want to manifest. But if you have something else that's maybe you've moved past that first step, it's super important, whatever it is, whether it's that first thing that I just said, or maybe you want to manifest a career, maybe you want to manifest a relationship, whatever it is that you want to manifest, knowing what you want is extremely critical. You see, I knew that I wanted to manifest certain things. I knew that I wanted to manifest this channel. Before that, I didn't know that, but I knew that I wanted to manifest something, and then it popped into my life. But I'm just assuming that we moved through that first step. Like I said, I knew that I wanted to manifest this channel. I knew that I wanted to manifest this apartment. I knew that I wanted to manifest a mentor in my life. Did I know how I was going to manifest these things? No. We'll get to that in just a moment. But I knew what I wanted to manifest. You just need to know what you want. You don't need to figure out how it's going to happen. We'll get to that later. I'll explain a little bit deeper in just a moment in terms of the process of how to create it. But just as a very simple baseline, sounds simple, but it's important. Just know, just actually know what you want. Is it to create a certain amount of money in your business? If it is, why do you want that money? Do you want a relationship? Just make it simple for yourself and know what you want. Now, here's the key though. That's the simple step. But this is the next step that a lot of people trip up on and they can't figure it out. You don't need to know the how. You do not need to know the how. The second thing that I did to manifest everything that I've manifested in my life so far, I'm not saying it to brag about this apartment, my career and my YouTube channel, is to not know the how. Like I said, I'm not saying this to come off as some egotistical person. I've manifested. No, there's tons of things that I haven't manifested yet. But with what I've created so far, I can tell you one thing. I always knew that it was going to happen. Okay? I always knew. If you know that it's going to happen, if you know in your heart that it is going to happen, you don't know the how, but you know that it's going to happen, then it's going to happen. That's how this game works. I didn't know the how. I didn't know the how, but I knew the what. If you just know the what, if you know exactly what you want and you truly trust that it's going to happen, like this sound, maybe you've heard this before, but it's like, it's not just like this spiritual, esoteric trust blindly in the universe. It's like, no, literally, yes, you're trusting the divine, you're trusting the divine energies, and you're trusting the universe, but it's like, just if you know the what and you truly believe it's going to happen, I promise the right ideas will pop in your mind, the right people will come into your life, the right things will pop up perfectly in divine timing, and you're doing all of it because you're working in unification with the divine intelligence and the oneness of all that is. You don't need to know the how, but you need to know the what, and truly believe in it, and literally watch how magical, mystical things start happening in your life, where the universe will literally start showing you exactly what you need to do, exactly what you need to think. The right thoughts will pop up into your mind, the right books will be recommended to you, the right people will come into your life, the right videos will pop up on YouTube. The synchronicities will come up, perhaps, if you need them in that moment, but eventually you realize the power is within you. The right things will come up. You've heard this before, but I want you to realize you truly don't need to know the how. I'm at the point now where it's like, if I want to manifest something, it's like, I just look at it and I'm like, that'd be, I was like, I want that. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I'm going to create it. It becomes like a little game. And when you can realize that you are the creator, and you can manifest all of it, and you don't need to know the how, you build trust within yourself, and then you get better at this. Because you start to see the pattern of, like, you literally don't need to know the how, you just need to know the what, remove the resistances, and you're gonna be on the path. Now, here's the most important step that I can truly say is one of the most important steps that I've ever done to manifest everything. I'm serious. If you truly get this, if you truly get what I'm going to share with you right now in this video, this last point, this third thing that I did to manifest all these things, has the power to help you manifest anything that you want. Do you want to manifest a relationship? Do you want to manifest a house, an apartment? Do you want to manifest more money? This is the key. When you know the what, you let go of the how. This is the key. You have to release the resistances and the blocks. I'm going to be totally upfront with you. Everything I've manifested so far was not through control, was not through manipulation, and not through thinking 24/7 about what I wanted to manifest. I was taking lots of actions to manifest, so in some ways I was thinking about it, but it's like, even when I'm in the process of this video, for example, I'm not obsessing over certain things, I'm just in a state of non-resistance and flow. But here's the thing though, once you know what you want, once you release the need to know the how, you also need to release the resistances and the blocks that come up. Like I was saying, but I kind of stopped myself because I go on tangents sometimes, which I gotta be working on more these days with my videos, because sometimes I branch off into tangents. But what I realized is that what truly helped me manifest was not by continually obsessing over what I wanted to create, or by thinking about it. Doesn't mean I wasn't taking actions. I was recording daily videos, taking lots of actions, but it wasn't through obsessing or affirming 24/7 like some people teach, which is nothing wrong with that, but it's just personally not something that works for me. What really worked, again, I think affirming is great, and we need it to some degree, but what really worked for me, truthfully and honestly speaking, if I want to be completely honest with you, I'm just being upfront. I don't want to bash on anybody and say affirmations are bad. Nothing like that. Affirmations are great. I don't want to come off that way. But just to be completely transparent with you watching, I want to be transparent with you and share with you exactly what I did to manifest. I didn't do lots of affirmations. What I did was I released the resistances to what I wanted. I'm not saying this to say that I know everything. I'm sure affirmations are very powerful and they work. And I've done them before and they do work. They literally do work. And I think that they're a very valuable tool. But I think that's something that I did that was a very significant factor on top of maybe some affirmations that I did, which maybe to some degree I don't want to say it's more important or more significant because I can't say stuff like that. I'm just teaching you from my experience, was to release the resistances. So I'll give you an example. Once you want to manifest something, you release the how. Just to be upfront with you, there's going to be resistances that come up. Like if you're trying to start a business, for example, you're going to have resistances that come up to the surface. You're going to have limiting beliefs like, oh, you're going to have thoughts like, oh, can I really manifest this? Can I really start this business? Am I worthy enough to start this business? What is my family going to think of me? What about blah, 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 blah? Like your mind is going to spit, like you're going to have emotions too. Emotions are going to come up to the surface. Thoughts are going to come up to the surface. Limiting beliefs are going to come up to the surface. Emotions are going to come up to the surface. Now, what you really want to practice is to allow those resistances to come up to the surface. Do not be in resistance to the stuff coming up to the surface. Because this is what I think a lot of people don't see, is that these things coming up to the surface are part of the manifestation process. They are part of the process. When you have an intention to create something and you have all this limitation, all the limiting beliefs, all the limitations coming up to the surface, how do you know that's not part of the process? I'm here to tell you it is, but if you didn't believe it, how do you know? Why are you so quick to assume that this is not, like, it's like, oh my gosh, we need to focus on what you want, not what you don't want. It's true, but sometimes it's almost like the old ego has to come up to the surface. See, when I was so worried about thinking about these things, it's like, oh my gosh, I had a negative thought, so I'm blocking a manifestation right now. It's true, you are. But how do you let go of that? By becoming aware of it and allowing it to be there and letting it go. You dissolve it. You see, awareness is what you need to dissolve that. If you're not aware of the resistances, how can you let them go? How can you let go of something that you are not even aware of? If you want to release something, you have to bring it up to the awareness first. You see what I'm saying? You can't release something unless you become conscious of it first. It's just the way that it is. If you want to release blocks, sometimes you have to feel them. You have to let it bubble up to the surface. But if you can truly tap into what I'm sharing, learn to release the resistances to the blocks, you're literally going to manifest. I can't promise anything, but it's like I can pretty much promise and guarantee, if you learn to be in a state of non-resistance to what is, if you can learn to be in a state of non-resistance to negative emotions that come up to the surface, all the negative blocks that come up to the surface, all the emotions that come up to the surface, you can learn to accept them and release them, and then step back into the vibration of trust and allowing the manifestation to unfold. You're going to manifest. I've never manifested money in a state of resistance. I think I actually did a couple times, but it didn't feel good. And it was hard to get there. All the big manifestations that I've had were in a state of non-logic, non-resistance, non-control, non-manipulation, not fighting what is, but accepting what is. Being in a full state of allowing. Realizing that I'm connected to something much greater than what my ego can understand, something that my mind cannot understand, and tapping into divine intelligence. If you want to manifest, you got to tap into divine intelligence. Divine intelligence will sometimes bring up blocks for you to process in order to bring you closer to your manifestation. Divine intelligence in your own consciousness. Divine intelligence is not separate from you. it's part of you, it's within you, it is you, sometimes will bring up negative emotions to then be released, to then make you an open container to receive what you want. If you can release the resistances, release the negative emotions, maybe even sometimes those emotions come up to the surface that call you to let go of a job or a relationship or whatever, it's literally going to prepare you to manifest more because you're going to be free. How freeing does it feel to not care if a block comes up? You feel pretty goddamn free. And then how do you need to feel to manifest certain things? You need to feel free. See, when negative emotions come up, some people think that's resistance. No, negative emotions are not resistance. Resistance is fighting the negative emotions. Are you resisting the resistance? Resistance being negative emotions, and then another layer of you fighting those emotions. Are you resisting what's coming up? I'm serious. If you can learn to release resistance to the blocks, you'll literally tap into a vibration of effortless flow, effortless abundance flowing to you in magical and mystical ways, because the divine intelligence is now something that you're working with. You're not fighting divine intelligence. You're with your true self working with this material world to manifest what you want, and you're letting it all rise up to the surface. Okay, so if you do these 3 things, I promise, or at least I can pretty much guarantee, I can't promise anything, but I can give you a very high likelihood that you're going to manifest what you want, because it's exactly what I did. It's truly what I did. I just want to be honest with you watching this video, or any of my viewers watching this video, just to be like, hey, to be honest with you, I don't do many affirmations. Sometimes I do them, but it's like mostly what I do is I know what I want, I release the resistance, and I don't focus on the how, and then I release the resistance. That's my manifestation formula. Know what I want, let go of the how, trust that it's coming, and then release the blocks. Be in the present, be in a state of non-logic, non-thinking, not fighting the present moment. Maybe in that process you feel called to do affirmations. I actually did feel called to do affirmations sometimes in the process of trusting, but it's like the affirmations came as a result of me just knowing what I wanted and releasing the how. Sometimes the divine intelligence will guide you to do affirmations. That's part of it. So it's like this technique and this way of manifesting brings you to the source of who you are, which is, of course, the source of all manifestation. You're getting right to the affirmations are surface level. Who you truly are is what manifests. So if you do these 3 things, I can pretty much guarantee a very high likelihood that you are going to manifest what you want. So that's all I have for this video. Once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. And as always, have yourself a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.